Hey, I'm Andrew Hosier Byrne, artist known as Hosier, and welcome listeners. I suppose it is grounded in a kind of a rootsy tradition of blues and folk. I suppose folk blues and gospel elements as well too. So it's a kind of it's rooted in quite an organic sound. Sometimes that can, in the first record, was quite swampy, quite kind of gothic rock. But moving forward, it's still, even though it's maybe a bit less swampy, it's still rooted in a kind of a very organic kind of folk blues tradition. All of my influences came from fairly organic sound. So like the sound of feet stomping or hands clapping, human voices in harmony is something that I really still very much in love with. So I would have been part of a lot of choirs. But yeah, if it's organic and warm, usually is kind of where is kind of a natural place for me. I know it's no improvement when you move, I move. It's an eclectic bunch of songs. I think the Nina Cried Power EP gave a little bit of a taster to some of the themes and some of the kind of the sonic world that it exists in. But it is it's an eclectic kind of clutch of songs which are maybe tied together with a sort of a kind of a theme of just the doom of our times, just this sense of doom. And some of that, I mean that in a kind of a tongue-in-cheek way. Some of the songs enjoy that element, and some of the songs are petrified of it, etc. So it's just looking at it from optimistic or pessimistic points of view. The starting point could be lyrics. It could be a melody, kind of hummed. It could be both arriving at the same time, which is ideal. It's really just one idea that you kind of a core idea that other ideas can swing off of, or other ideas can be fleshed out from. Something that sums up the feeling and the kind of intention of that little piece of work. The sound of guitar, it differs. Like what I love about guitar, that was the first instrument I fell in love with, hands down. I think it depends on the playing and the play style, and it depends on if it's kind of along the line of like a blues artist like John Lee Hooker. I always loved. I can't play with picks, so there's something about. I love the kind of full tone of a finger plucking a string, bending a string. That kind of John Lee Hooker bend and pull. There's still something very exciting and very lively and just very alive about that sound. There was a lot of blues music playing in the house as I was growing up. My father was a blues musician. I kind of discovered his record early on, and this is before the internet. You kind of you discovered music as you could. So a lot of mixtapes, a lot of kind of tapes that he had made when he was forming bands before I was born, of like blues material. And then a record collection that was full of jazz and soul music. So discovering Otis Redding for the first time, hearing Otis Redding's voice for the first time, hearing Nina Simone's voice for the first time was really big for me. And I kind of just fell in love with that, and just was kind of just mystified by it. For me, music was always this thing that was just this great mystifying thing that I was fascinated by. I remember discovering for the first time Ella Fitzgerald's, like a huge Ella Fitzgerald fan, so again, would have listened to a great deal of her, discovering a lot of her duets. She did a lot of these kind of romantic duets, some with Louis Armstrong, some with the Ink Spots. Really beautiful, gorgeous, very romantic. Like I've a kind of real soft spot for those old school romantic jazz standards and ballads, and a lot of sweet memories, you know, of those as well too. The kind of first time being in love and sharing those songs with somebody.